When the Janneh Commission finished their work, they submitted a 9-volume report to the president. In this 9-volume report, there is nowhere in this report which talks about the sale of the Janneh assets. It's not there.
You've read through the whole 9 volumes.
I've not reported all 9 volumes, but the Ministry of Justice has confirmed to me.
Well, this is the same Ministry of Justice that said this information was not for public consumption.
And
after the heat piled by the Republic...
But this report is online. This report is in the Ministry of Justice's website. All the volumes are there. They are nowhere in this. The Janneh Commission submitted a report, but never submitted a report on the sale of the Janneh asset. It's not there. And you cannot give what you don't have. In fact, let me tell you something, Peter. The recent... the list that was released insofar as these sales are concerned, by the Minister of Justice, they did not get them from the Janneh Commission. They got them from those who did the sales. So the Janneh Commission did not do a good job in providing a detailed report of the sales. They did not. They still haven't done that. And that is a fact. And the minister cannot, the government cannot give what we don't have. What the government has, which is in the records and which was given to the National Assembly.
So the Janneh Commission failed the nation.
Of course, yes. They did not. They submitted a comprehensive report of the Janneh but they never submitted a report, a detailed. No report was submitted on the sales. They did not report that. Now, secondly, also, what the government had was the sales of the properties done by the receiver or the auctioneer, Alpha Capital. Those ones the government had, and this was submitted to the National Assembly. But when it comes to the tractors and the cows and the vehicles, nothing was submitted to the government. It wasn't there, and still they haven't. The only thing, and the Minister of Justice got these through the those who took part in the sales. They just collated here and there recently when this thing blew up. And I think Mustafa did a good job in asking those critical questions, which now led to, obviously, government cannot run away from responsibility. The oversight institution responsible over the Janneh Commission was the Minister of Justice. At that time, they could have, even if the Janneh Commission did not submit the report, they could have asked them to submit the report, but that did not happen at that time. This was in 2019. So what I'm trying to explain here is that there was no report submitted on the sale of the Janneh of the Janneh conducted by the Janneh Commission to the government. So government cannot give what they don't have. What we have was the sales done by Alpha Capital, which was everything was intact, was transparent, everything was given to government, and that one the Minister of Justice submitted to the National Assembly at that time.
Can you clarify whether the President, as requested by the texter, is trying to protect certain members from his first term?
No way. The President will not protect anybody, and I've said that here before. And I'll repeat it here before. The president has no interest in protecting anyone. Because the president, even those who bought to be honest, Peter, you saw the list. The president will not protect anyone. The president did not know how this, it's not his job. In a democrat, there are institutions. The Janneh Committee did the sales.
Whose feeling is that? The previous Minister of Justice?
Well, what I'm saying, the Ministry of Justice, I cannot go into personality. The Ministry of Justice failed in their oversight at that time to ensure that the Janneh Commission submits a comprehensive report of the sales.
In other words, bad term. Because if I ask you whether it's Jallo, you would say definitely he wasn't there.
In this case, Peter, the Minister of Justice has oversight function over the Janneh Commission. At that time, if they failed to submit a report of sales that the ministry knew they did, they could have held them to account at that time, but that did not happen. Now it's happening, and we are holding them to account, and there will be an inquiry, and everything will be clear.